Hey, great day, everybody. So, I am really excited. Today, we are going to be talking about 11 different ways that we can add streams of income, especially in the digital product space. As you all know, some of you, that I am a digital product creator. I'm also a service provider. And I believe that there are no caps in terms of what people can do and earn in their business. As you are watching this, let me know, do you create digital products? Yes or no? If you do want to create digital products, can you drop what type of digital product you want to offer? And again, if you're just hopping on, I am streaming live for the podcast right now. And I'm going to be going over 11 different ways that entrepreneurs, any type of entrepreneur, can add a variety of different digital products to their business, at least one, right? Just to give you an idea of what types of digital products that I've offered over the last 10 years in the virtual space, and I'm just going off the top of my head, is that I have currently group coaching programs, a few. I also offer one-on-one coaching, like more of VIP, like a VIP day. Somebody can book me out for 90 minutes. Someone can book me out for a full day, but that can be virtual or in person. In terms of online, I have ebooks. I have mini courses that are self-paced, like email marketing, for example. Um, I've had actual mastermind programs. I call those hybrid, where they have an online course plus they meet me in person. Currently, we have a step below our hybrid mastermind that we had ran for 3 years, where this particular program that is on its technically fourth year running is that these therapists in this particular program, they meet with me online and then they have Boxer access. And so, as you can see, there's a variety of things that you can do in the digital space. And if you are a person where you're strapped with means, meaning you cannot get out right now, and you can do a lot of things from home, and you have Wi-Fi, you have a phone. Right now, I'm not even recording on like one of my traditional cameras. I am recording from my streaming camera that's connected to my computer, my laptop. At the end of the day, if you have Wi-Fi, you can make money. Okay, how many of you would agree? So I see that someone wants to create like a digital journal. Some of the digital products that some of my clients have successfully launched is digital ebooks and guides. Of course, some of my clients have actually launched physical products because the marketing, I'm not going to say it's exactly the same, but a good amount of the way that I teach marketing, that is more evergreen marketing strategy. And then we just include what's new in the industry of marketing. They've been pretty successful. So I've had some students launch digital courses. So prime example, one of my students about 2 years ago, she wanted to teach other people what she had done in her business for government contracts for private practices. And so we gave her a platform. She learned how to launch it, and she had a 5K launch, then a 10K launch, and then she just kept offering it more, just like, in different seasons. We had another clinician where she had a 1 to 2 day workshop on teaching people how to write books. She did it virtually. And so she was in our mastermind. We call her 10 minutes and $10,000, meaning it did not take her literally 10 minutes, but she got the feedback in 10 minutes from a powerful community. She went home and worked on it for about a month, got feedback from myself as well as the community, and she increased her rate like 1000%. And she ended up having a 5-figure launch as well, right? We have another therapist where she's still connected with us. She works with a lot of our clients, and she's launched 2 memberships, 2 to 3 digital courses for general public therapists and therapy clients. What I'm telling you is the sky is the limit with digital products. I see that some other people are interested in a journal and a workbook. Okay. So I'm going to go down my list, and then I'm going to circle back and give just like some tips. Feel free, because I am streaming live, please feel free to drop your question, whether you are watching on we're Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. Okay. So go ahead and drop your comment if you have one. But I'm going to go ahead and start listing these. And so the first one is, of course, what most people know of is ebooks and guides. And so ebooks are fairly easy. Put a one in the comment box if you're interested in learning how to put together an ebook literally in a day, right? Because it is that easy if you already pay attention to the information that you have, right? So I'm actually just embed the tips. One quick tip is to pay attention to what people are already asking you for, right? So I may come on here and talk about these streams and digital products all the time, but also I get people responding to me. And if I start seeing a commonality, I may choose to say, I don't want to create a whole program. So I'm going to put it and package it in a digital product. Now, depending on what my goal is for that person after they have their hands or their fingertips on my digital product, I then have to think about, does it make sense that it's just on paper? Or does it make sense that they need to see a video? Because maybe I'm showing them something. Like if I'm showing you Canva, I don't want to describe it in an ebook, right? Or can I have a combination of both? And I think that some people are sleeping on people's ability to combine different types of digital products. Okay. So this is what it could like look like. Okay. So let's just say, I'm just going to walk y'all through it. Okay. Let's just say that I created an ebook on how to create your first Canva ebook, right? So it had a checklist of ebook stuff, but then I wanted to show you how I created an ebook so that you don't even got to go to Etsy to buy no template. You can just find a template on Canva, change it later, but just like sell a few, you know? And so I could, in the ebook, add a hyperlink. And the hyperlink can go to, let's just say, a page or a website like Loom, LOOM.com. That's not an affiliate link, it's a free website. They have free accounts, but if you want all the perks, it's about 100 and some bucks a year. But Loom.com allows you to record your screen. Some of you have seen Loom videos before because it'll show a little eyeball at the top and say 1,000 and some people have seen this video. They may even let you interact with the video. But let me know if that blows your mind. Like, you don't need a whole online course portal unless that's your thing. Like, I have an online course portal primarily because I am a professor at heart, right? So the things that I teach are directly correlated with somebody listening to me, but also some things I teach, they need to see the screen. Okay. So the power of an ebook is a beautiful thing. And it can be comprehensive guides, it can be checklists, but it should be topics relevant to your expertise. And it should be, ideally, if you want people to get value out of it, I don't care if it's $11, is it can be step-by-step manuals like how-to guides, industry highlights. It can be anything, right? So right now, I put out an ebook a month ago. I'm gonna give y'all like, like this blew my mind. I ain't even told my community this. So y'all the first people that's hearing this, right? So I launched a digital membership back in December, right before New Year. I was super hyped up about it. Everybody who got it was super hyped up about it. Within 2 weeks, y'all, I had 65 people. Now, I did have a low entry, a barrier to get in. Not a lot of people canceled after the dollar trial. I don't regret how I let people get into the program. But what I do regret is not taking the time to explain to people that I just don't want you to get into the program because you can get in it because it's low. I want you to get in it because you actually want to build and market a digital product. And what I found, no shade to the people who were actually participating, but we went from 63 people with like 40 people on a call to like 20 something people to like 8 people. And I can actually host and hold down a coaching call with 3 people. Okay, we can have a time. However, when people are not watching the replay, the purpose of having a cohort is so that you can, I'm going to say, mastermind with each other. You can brainstorm together. It's not like a traditional class. Nothing that I do is like a traditional class. I will always embed some type of community aspect. So I personally did not feel aligned with how I saw the program going and how it started going. And, we made tweaks, but it's just, it wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. So I asked myself, would I rather continue to carve out time, carve out money for my team, and pour into a program where we got like a good 3 to 5 people who talk back to us? Or could I just find whoever those 3 to 5 people are and say, hey, if you need help, just hit me up. We could just work one on one. Put a one in the comment box if that makes sense, right? And so I chose to pivot in my business and I chose to shut that program down. However, this is the key highlight, and I want to know what y'all thoughts are on this. Let's just say I generated in the beginning of launching that program, because again, it was super low, like $22, and it went up to $49, right? So let's just say my overall revenue was 1,200 bucks a month, just about, right? As people started to, it happens with memberships, people start to fall off for various reasons. It went down to about $880. That's still not bad considering we meet once a month. However, what people don't understand is how much it costs to edit videos and put them in the portal, me taking out the time to record videos, re-record videos based off of a category that we talked about on the live call, because I want them to have access to a private podcast, having to pay for the private podcast. There's expenses when it comes down to building digital products. That's why I say start easy, ease in that thing, right? And so could y'all believe that when I shut down the program back in April, I decided in May, right around Memorial Day, to launch an ebook. And I said, you know what? I just want to give people ideas and to show them what is possible for digital products. And I'm going to be hella extra. We giving them not 10, not 20, we giving them 60. And yes, your girl put together an ebook. Now, I have been building these thoughts out on a Google Doc for like probably a month. But when I sat down, it literally took me one day, like a Friday night, to put it together. On Saturday, I promoted it on Instagram. And do you know, within 30 days of creating a product one time, and if I want to edit it, I can, but it don't need to be, right? And I will increase the price because of what people have done with it. Okay. So the sale is ending on that tomorrow. Okay. So you can get it right now for $22. Just go to Instagram, go to my DM and type in start. If you're watching on YouTube, just find me on Instagram at Dr. TK Site. Click the link in my bio or just DM me the word start. You will save $75 because it is $97. Okay. So, but you're not gonna pay that unless you wait until after tomorrow. Okay. So the crazy part is I made almost to the dollar the exact amount that I made with a membership. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? So I took a live My Time product, my team's time and investing money, shut a program down. Let's just say if it made $830. I checked after it had been on sale for 30 days and I didn't even promote it a lot. And it made like literally almost the exact same amount, like a couple of dollars off. Now let me know if that's something that you would like to learn how to do. Like, damn, I ain't even got to show up. That's why I'm saying you're sleeping on your notepad and your phone. You got notes, you got ideas. You're sleeping on your planners, your journals. You're sleeping on all of, if your Canva look anything like mine, I've got products for days. Like my team is like, girl, can you just like choose one? You feel me? Because I can create a product. Honestly, I can sit here and watch this video today and make what I'm talking about today an ebook. Y'all get me? Man, that's just number one. All right, let's speed things up. All right. So, all right. You said with that. Oh, I can't retype the question if you on YouTube. Okay. So let me know if y'all got questions. All right. So ebooks and guides. Number two, online courses. So when you think about online courses, the one thing you want to remember is that to make a good online course deliver in the way where the person is going to get a transformation is that your online course should have some type of framework. Now, please note, when I first created my online course, I'm going to say the program that's still up and running today, because I've created a lot. The program that's still up and running today, let me just tell y'all the basics of what I had. I had G Suite that I was using for my private practice. It just had my at drtk.com. That's my email now, right? So the students who enrolled in that program, I went on a webinar platform. So I did pay for that. That was like $49. And I did like a trial period just to do enough webinars. I'm keeping it real. Like I had money, but I was just like, I didn't know that like all this stuff would cost money, right? Like allocating money. And so I paid, let's just say $49 after the trial to keep it for like at least 30 days so I can get my recordings. And I had to do multiple webinars back then because I didn't get the amount of students initially that I wanted. It takes time. You got to perfect your messaging, right? And so I had that. I had my email, but I also invested in ConvertKit, which is an email marketing platform. So that was at that time another $29. So now I'm up to a whole $70. But I did not have Kajabi, a Teachable, a Course Craft. I've been on all of them, right? I didn't have any Course Shell. Guess what? We met on Zoom. And I did after, my program started, I paid the little $14.99 invest, y'all. I paid the $14.99 to get the Zoom calls longer than a countdown of 60 seconds or 45 minutes. You don't want that. I had 90-minute coaching calls. And you may be wondering, well, where's their replay? Well, it's called YouTube Unlisted, not YouTube Private, YouTube Unlisted. And you may be thinking, well, aren't you scared that somebody gonna get your intellectual property? They're not gonna get me. I am the intellectual property. Okay. And so even though, yes, somebody can technically share the link, that actually was not of my concern because that's a lack mentality. And the reason why I say that is because if that's where your mind is, it should be focused on getting more customers and clients, not on is somebody going to share my stuff. Somebody always going to share your stuff. And at the end of the day, I tell my clients, if you want somebody else to milk you for your investment and your time, that's your bad. That's your loss, not mine. Because you invested in this program, $1,000, $3,000, whatever the cost is for a coaching program with me, right? But if you let somebody milk you and not sit through the webinar, not read the emails, not sign up, not put their hard money into an investment and you're giving it to them for free? Absolutely not. Like, I'm not worried about that. Okay. But online courses is another way that you can generate revenue. Now, I'm going to start stacking these on top of each other. You can take, I'm going to use my ebook. I can take my 60 digital product ideas for therapists because guess what? I'm an entrepreneur and a psychologist. So I already told my team, I can create ebooks for digital product creators in general. Everything that I teach therapists, if I literally, and my clients know this, if I remove the word therapist from the titles of my courses, they will be applied to everyone, because what I teach is the fundamental structure of the topics. Okay. I just sometimes like to spend a certain amount of time with therapists because no one else does. Okay. But it doesn't mean that you can't learn from stuff I put on my podcast, my YouTube, my social media. Right. And so I can take the 60 product ideas and then I can create a course and go in depth with a module on all 60. Or let's just say if it's 5 categories, but it's like 10 here, 8 here, 5 here, and that equals out to 60 product ideas, I can have 5 modules. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? So why would somebody pay for that? Because they're not trying to figure out how to Google the damn product idea. So they may say, okay, cool, I want to do this product idea. But now they like, is she gonna come out with something else? Is she gonna share like, what does it look like if I were to launch this type of product? So I'm not saying that I would take all 60 and teach you how to launch 60 products. That's a lot of processes, SOPs, funnels. But I could do a mini workshop on every single one if I wanted to. Do y'all see that? Okay. And I can charge premium dollar for that because that's a lot of time. Okay. The next one is webinars and workshops. Webinars and workshops. So what I'm doing right now is technically a live stream. I use StreamYard to stream on all platforms at the same time. I like building community on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. And I'm starting to tap back into LinkedIn. Some of my stuff will be a straight up pre-recorded video. Some of them will be live. But I like my stuff based off the way that I like to show up in the marketplace to be more like a workshop because I feel like people will catapult their business and their learning if things are very concise. Like, man, just give me the juice, right? Now, I can tell you stories to help you apply what you learn. But like today is really about, unless you got questions, me just going through these 11 digital product types that people are sleeping on. So we've already talked about ebooks and guides. I've brought up just general information about online courses. I did mention the word framework. Framework, a quick definition is how are you going to walk the person through the journey of the beginning of the presenting problem to the transformation of what their life is going to look like after your digital product. Technically, every digital product you have should have some type of framework, right? And so then I talked about webinars and workshops. So you can host those live. They can be pre-recorded webinars. Now, here's how you leverage time. I can host like tomorrow, I'm hosting a masterclass. So for those of you who don't know, if you go to If you go to my Instagram at Dr. TK Site, right? If you're on Instagram, you can actually type in the word class right now if you're on Instagram. If you are not, go over everything is on Instagram in my link, right? But go to Instagram and go to therapist marketing masterclass. Now I said therapist, but I don't know. It might be open to more than therapists, to be honest, because the stuff that I'm teaching after me and my team's meeting today, I mean, it could be for anybody, like at this point, right? But if you're a therapist, for sure, sign up for free, right? But this is what I'm getting at. I can take the workshop I'm doing tomorrow that is recorded. I can download it, rewatch it, make sure I covered all my points. If not, I'm gonna do a live again. Odds are I'm gonna do a few live ones, right? But if it's at the point where I say it's good enough for right now, and that's the thing you got to tell yourself for right now, what I will then do is I can put that workshop on replay. And if it's tied to revenue, I can make money from that masterclass. So get this, I can make the masterclass a lead generator, meaning I get people with eyeballs on my expertise. So that's leads, that's email addresses, that's engagement on my platforms. So boom, I'm doing that and I don't even need to be there. Then after the masterclass, they're going to see something that I'm going to announce tomorrow. And those people will have the opportunity to then work more intimately with me and my community. And I only potentially, if I do it well, I only have to show up one time and do a masterclass. So if your gift of the gab is your voice, use it. If you're good at writing, write. If you're good at creating videos, do it. But some of y'all just sitting here thinking about doing it and then you never do it. Okay, let me know if I'm talking to the choir. All right. So webinars and workshops is a digital product as well. And they do not have to be free. They can be paid. I have hosted multiple low to high webinars and workshops. And some of them are a vetting application process to apply to something else. So when we first started offering our mastermind, I used to host what's called Grow versus Scale Masterclass. It was 90 minutes, lock in. I used to intentionally host it at 6 o'clock at night. On the East Coast, your kids are asleep. On the West Coast, they should be sitting down eating dinner. Okay. So 90 minutes, it was $97. And then if people signed up for our mastermind, they will be able to apply that toward their application and to get into the program. But that was me helping people get skin in the game. Because see, my mastermind was $18,000. So if you say that you can't pay 97, that means you don't have cash flow to invest in a mastermind. I really want y'all to hear that. So you can create workshops, webinars, or digital products as part of a nurturing and potentially a vetting process for other products or services. Okay. Number 4 is membership sites. And so one thing I will say about membership sites that you definitely want to pay attention to is your schedule. Ideally, if it's membership calls like once a month, are they going to be on at the same time each month? So I prefer to have memberships that I've had in the past, like the second Saturday of the month. And what I'll do before I even offer it, I will go into my calendar and Google and put it on repeat and make sure that it can repeat itself. And if there's a holiday, I don't mind if it's like one. If it's like 3 holidays, I'm like, Mondays ain't gonna cut it for the first quarter. I need to figure out a different time. If you know that you're not going to be available for a certain amount of days, is that going to hinder the growth of the people in your membership? But I love memberships because it's not just you learning about something to grow you or your business, but it's also you have that sense of community, like you're not by yourself. Typically, memberships can range from like an Apple download, $4, workout app, $99 a year, $500 a year, $49 a month. But let's just say if you do something like me and you teach people something to help them make more money, like business, the ROI is different. So if you're teaching people about self-love, I ain't saying that that's not valuable, but your membership may be $29 when I can teach people like I had done digital products for introduction for mental health providers. And that may be $49. I mean, I had a membership at one point that was $222 a month. Okay. So the sky is the limit, but it should be connected with how are you going to solve their problem? And honestly, how efficiently are you going to solve their problem? Now, also the benefit of membership is once someone is done with your framework, Some people will stick around primarily because they like the community aspect. They don't want to be by themselves. They will connect with people. They will mastermind with people. Okay. So that's membership sites. And just to give you an idea of what you can put inside a membership site, you can do a monthly or yearly fee. It can be exclusive content that's not in public. It can be resources. I've seen some people that I mentored under where they were just learning. I remember this guy years ago was learning how to do membership sites. And what he did, because he used to have these 2-day intensive marketing boot camps where we would be there from 8 to 9, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Hella information. What he would do is take all this information and dump it into this membership because people would say, hey, I heard you say this from the stage, but you're not going to talk about it over these next few days. Is there somewhere I can find it? And he didn't want to create an online course where he had to continuously upkeep it. So he was like, man, I'm about to charge a flat in the beginning, a flat rate of $97, one-time fee, go in there and get it. Now, of course, he can clearly turn that on to an annual fee. Okay. So membership sites. Number 5 is templates and tools. So some of you may have invested in templates and tools. I know I have. So templates and tools will be on Etsy. Maybe you want to do a webinar slide deck. You don't want to hire a graphic designer. You can go on Etsy and pay $25 for a whole bundle with Instagram templates, right? Some of you have downloaded like highlights. Now, of course, Canva has definitely blew up over the last couple of years where they have a wide variety of things that you can search for. You just have to be patient and find what you're looking for. But if you want to go the quick route, there are plenty of websites that will sell you templates. I know that I taught my digital product community that they can go on Etsy or Canva, and let's just say they want to onboard their clients and give them some type of onboarding workbook. Well, unless you have a graphic designer or VA who can do that, could you go on Etsy and pay $12 and get one that you can upload into Canva and then you can change the color to match your brand? Simple, easy peasy. What if you are the person that you create templates? So at some point, me and my team talked about, and I have done it in the past, I have sold basic templates like Google Sheets. And I like Google Sheets because it's a live document, which means that you ain't got to bother me about it being updated. I've already updated it. Just click the link, right? So sometimes I don't want to put things in a workbook, like an ebook, a PDF. I would prefer, depending on what it is, if it's something that's forever evolving, I would rather put it in maybe an Excel sheet or a Google Doc, and you just have to copy it to your drive to type on it. But what are the things that you do maybe in your personal life or your business, and you find yourself constantly telling people? Like, one thing that I'm not doing, but that I've highly contemplated, but it's enough people doing it, so I'm like, I'm good, is I go to Disney a lot. And, people from my church and my family are like, I'm going to Walt Disney World for the first time. How do I do the fast lane? How do I find a resort? How do I? And I'm like, I don't want to write down the steps, but I could tell you, but if you are a person where you can write down the steps, that cannot be a template. Think about all the stuff that you know in your personal life. We ain't even talking about business. Okay. Number 6 is digital art and printables. Now, this could include digital, like I know they were doing this with NFTs and stuff like that, right? So I ain't gonna get into that, but offer digital art, printables, design sets. I know they sell these on Amazon. Like, it's interesting. I'll be on Pinterest and I'll be like, oh, this picture is cute. I want to put it on my vision board. And then I'll try to pin it. And then it'll go to Amazon and say, do you want to buy it? And I'm like, no, I just want to put it on my vision board, but you can't pin it, right? If you go to Etsy, prime example, what are those? The Stanley cups, right? Or like the big mugs. I mean, you can go to Target and buy a cup like that, right? It ain't a Stanley, but it's still a cup. So you can buy one of those cups, or you can buy a t-shirt. Prime example, this one. I didn't make it, but let's just say if I bought this black shirt and I had one of those cricket things from Michaels or something, right? I can go on one of these websites and download your template with a picture of Mickey Mouse for Animal Kingdom at Walt Disney World, because we want to have the whole safari theme. That's what we did one year, right? And my cousin made them. But if you know how to create that, or hell, hire somebody on Fiverr to create it for you, delegation, and then you go off and sell it, you pay somebody to make it one time, and then you go on Etsy and sell it, game over. So if you like to draw, listen, talk to somebody in contractual agreements to make sure that your stuff is protected. I will say that. And that's the same with like ebooks and everything, like copyrighted and everything like that. But digital art and printables are a thing. That could also include planners, journals, motivational prints. If you choose to do a physical product like a journal and it's coming from a place like China or overseas, You do just want to make sure that you understand how long it will take to potentially get here. And I'm not a fan of the news, but doggone it, you better pay attention to the news to see what may be stopping your package from getting here. Because I've had clients where their stuff was stuck on the water. And I laughed. Like one day we got on a plane. It was my whole family going to Walt Disney World, and it was during the pandemic, like in 2021 though, when they had opened back. And I took a picture and posted it as a reel on Instagram. And I was like, hey, there go y'all there go y'all tissue. There go all y'all stuff that you've ordered that ain't got there yet. Comical, you know what I'm saying? Because it was all of these boats in the middle of the water with all these containers. So you do want to have an idea with vendors that you work with, because I know that sometimes it's a lot cheaper to go from overseas to get your stuff packaged if it's designed right. But if it's at the cost of waiting 9 months, could you have paid an extra $2 a book to get these people this book for your book launch like next week with rush shipping? And then maybe get the next batch overseas so that you have more time. Number 7 is audio content. So I'm going to show y'all how I double dip all the time. This microphone. I am streaming live in multiple places. And let's just say if this was a paid workshop, I can then say, oh, who did not make it? Okay, you know what? I'm not going to offer, because I didn't show none on the screen, I'm not going to offer any video replays, but I am going to offer an audio replay. And I have access to a private podcast feed. So if you would like to purchase the workshop and listen to it as you drive to work or on the go or at the gym or whatnot, maybe it's personal development or idea generation, then go ahead and pay for it. So I can charge people to sit in a workshop with me because maybe they want to ask me the questions live. But then there will be a group of people always that says, I can't make it on the day that you're doing it. Because listen, it's only one me. I can't cater to every single time of the day, schedule, kid schedule. Like that's humanly impossible. And I'm going to challenge the objection of, well, if I can't be there live, then I don't want to invest in it. Let me ask you, are you investing in being in there live or are you investing in the information? Those are two different things. I'm not minimizing the power of being there live. But if your attention span, when even you watching this podcast right now, is multitasking, how much are you going to sit down to watch something that you pay for? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like later, you're not. Most of us, when you get access to a visual replay, unless it's a course in which you got to see the screen, let's be real. How many of y'all actually sit down and watch the video? Or do you listen to it while the screen is playing? Okay. So I choose to double dip. I export these podcasts that I stream live or pre-record, and then I download them to my audio podcast. But if this was paid, I can do the same thing. So this can be guided meditations. This can be podcasts. It can be audio courses. Depending on what you're teaching, you can create an audio course and look at it like Audible. Now, you may be thinking, but I don't even want to take an Audible course. Like, I'd rather see something on the screen. Again, are you sitting down and actually watching the screen, or are you listening to it while you're doing something else? While you cooking? You ain't staring at the TV while you over the stove, right? Number 8 is software and apps. Now, this isn't my thing, but there are plenty of platforms that are allowing creators to have your own app for a low additional cost. So when you think about software and apps, that is another digital product. What is it called? SaaS, right? So every platform that we're on right now has been at the developer stage, and then they launched it and they're working out tweaks. Hence Instagram, YouTube, we got updates all day long. That's why I just say turn on the updates automatically and just make sure that you have space on your phone. Because if you pay attention to how many updates these apps go through, it's because they're perfecting and getting feedback from their consumers to make it better. So can you, or do you have the knowledge to develop and sell software or mobile apps that solve specific problems or add value to your target market? So even though I'm not a service, like a SaaS developer, somebody else has developed a platform that will allow us to create private podcast feeds. I have fell in love with podcasts over the last 10 years, right? It's the best way that I learn outside of video with certain topics. Now, what I've also learned is that I need to warm up my community to audio learning, because what they realize when they're listening to something is that it taps into a different learning style. And they have to actually focus versus watching the video. You walk away from the video, but you're still listening, you multitasking, and you ain't really consuming all the information as you should. But pay attention when you listen to something audio. You'll know what I'm talking about because you'll be listening to, like, let's just say you're driving and your kid is in the back seat, but you're listening to something like Audible or whatever, right? And somebody said a good nugget on a podcast. And if you got Apple Podcasts, you're like, wait, rewind 15 seconds, what they just said? You cannot multitask when you're consuming information in an auditory way. But I also know that people like stuff on the go. So I choose with certain products and services that I have right now to either add on a private podcast feed as a bonus, or I will outright make a whole program in an audio feed because I can always link up a video from someplace else. I don't believe that all digital products need no dang on online course. How many of y'all would agree? Nobody wants to log into a course for every single thing they do. They just want to be able to click play. And if there's something in the show notes, you can click the little video, watch it on your phone, or airdrop it to your computer. Okay. So that's software and apps. We're almost going home. We got three more. So online coaching and consulting. Do you have enough expertise to provide coaching or consulting sessions to individuals? Now, please do not hop on a bandwagon and just say you want to be a coach because you see other people making money being a coach. You have to help somebody get a transformation. So the best way to do that is to work with somebody one-on-one and low-key do it for free. Get a testimonial. That is your goal. Practice creating your framework in the moment. Ask them to agree that you're going to help them solve a problem. If you're a therapist, don't be unethical. Do not ask a therapy client to be your coaching client, and don't ask a coaching client to be your therapy client. All it takes for mental health providers is one person to make a mistake, and we got another ethical compliance route. Okay, that's how all of our ethical guidelines come about, is because of a damn lawsuit. So don't cross over people to one service to the other. Okay, I'm just going to sneak that in. So you can package services for a certain amount of sessions. You can provide Boxer support for coaching, or Boxer can outright be its own package. Some of my alumni students, they no longer needed to come to the live calls. They didn't really need to hop on Zoom. They didn't really need to talk to me about the course portal. So I started to notice a trend of, dang, they just want to shoot a question to me on demand. So a year and a half ago, we started embedding that some products that we have will outright just be Boxer. Do you want a 90-day Boxer package with me? That's literally like right now, but you just can't see me. That's dope, right? You can leave me a message at 2 o'clock in the morning, your time zone. But you know my rule, I ain't getting back to it unless it's a weekday within 24 hours, right? And so that means that you can leave me a message at any time when it's on your mind. And that is the main feedback that I've gotten from clients. I call it coaching on demand. So you can have Boxer, you can have Telegram, you can have, if you have group coaching, you can put everybody in one Facebook group, or like Circle, or all these other apps. But make sure that you do get some form of training around coaching, because coaching is so wide range, and you still in the beginning want to niche down so that later you can niche up. So I'm just going to do like a shameless plug right now. If you are on Instagram and you would like to come to my masterclass for marketing tomorrow, go ahead and comment class. If you are watching on any other platform, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, go to Dr. TK Psych, like spell out Dr. TK Psych. Okay. And here, let me type it out. No, you know what? I can't even get to my keyboard. So DOCTOR TK Psych, like psychologist. If you click on the link in my bio, it'll be right there at the top. Okay. I'm going to be having a therapist marketing masterclass. And the reason for that is that I find that, some therapists, I can help them with their back office. Some therapists, they got everything together, but where they're really stuck at is just continuously growing their business. But I want to be very clear. I'm not talking about how to open up a therapy practice in that workshop. I'm not talking about how to launch a coaching program or digital product. I am talking about how you can take any stream, but what are the fundamentals of you marketing in 2024? Because 2024 looks drastically different than 2020, 2015, etc. Okay. So going back, number 10, another virtual product, digital product, is virtual summits and or conferences. So this blew up wide open in 2020, but it's been around for a long time. But they just got more sophisticated with software where people can go into breakout sessions and it literally looks like you're in a different room visually, like at a summit, right? But you can have summits where people can show up live and then you can sell the replay later. You can make it where somebody pays for a summit. I've seen this done multiple times. The person has guest speakers on all parts of the summit. I've seen some summits be streamed live while some others are pre-recorded. And then maybe those people want to hop on Zoom with you later. You can charge them for a bonus group chit chat Q&A because maybe they aren't able to ask questions when you stream your summit. So if you like events or if you can invest in hiring an events coordinator, even online, yes, it takes organization. You can change part of your digital product suite and add something virtual that you can do online that attracts a lot of people. And then maybe you even have guest speakers. Okay. You have guest topics, you have guest speakers talking about specific topics. But again, I'm gonna go back to framework. Are they helping the ideal client who's coming to that summit or conference with something? It should still be a theme, y'all. Any conference that you go to always has a theme. So, for example, our first conference with like 50 up to 60 therapists in LA 2 years ago, our theme was I'm gonna say like a different couple of words, like get out of your head, create a master plan for your business to blow up for the following year, because I think that conference was in August. But ultimately, we were helping therapists understand why they deserve abundance. So we did a lot of mindset work and then we did some strategy stuff, but it was more mindset work and more money stuff. The second year, we decided to turn off some of our smaller intimate mastermind events and we took some of the content and brought it to the conference. So that conference was focused on therapists who wanted to go from grow to scale. But it was a theme, meaning if you don't have a business yet, it's probably not a good idea that you come to this conference. Okay. So have a theme. Now, number 11 is subscription boxes. Now, subscription boxes are not a joke, or subscription services. When you think about any digital product, you do want to think about the customer service piece, honestly, but especially with physical products. So I'm going to say if you did like a digital membership, that's a subscription. If you have people in a coaching program, and please hear me on this if you are in a coaching program, there is a difference between a payment plan, a financial agreement, those are like the same, or a subscription. So what has happened is that the systems that process customers' payments, when you get the email, it may say the word subscription because that's how they identify it in the SaaS world. Okay. SaaS software, right? But if you know that you signed up for 7 payments of a certain amount, that is what you're responsible for. So just do me and your coach and your mentor a favor, because I know we've experienced this. We will have people that are in a payment plan and respond to the your card will be charged in 3 days reminder to say, please cancel my subscription. No, no, no. You invested in this $3,000 product and it is not a subscription. You signed a contract for a payment plan. You must finish the payment plan. Well, I no longer want the program. You are beyond the refund policy and you had an option, right? That's why I have learned from experiences with digital products as well. That's a whole nother topic about why I'm so tedious with what is included also in my digital products. But we're not going to go there today because I just want you to start off with something simple. So if you are a mental health provider and you just want to start off with idea generator, what is possible for me to create a digital product? Okay. Then I want you, if you're on Instagram, comment the word book. The coupon code does end tomorrow night, Friday at midnight. If you're on any other platform, again, just go to Instagram, click the link in my bio, and it's right there. Use the coupon code START. START. Okay. Like start now, right? The coupon code will no longer be valid when you wake up Saturday morning. I want to make that clear. It's going to go back up to what it's valued at, which is $97. And people have paid $97 because it can make you thousands of dollars if you desire, right? So on a scale of 1 to 10, depending on how long you've been watching or tuning in, how did you like it? I'm going to do a recap. So thus far, I introduced a lot of technique and strategy, but we talked about 11 ways that you could add a digital product to your suite as an entrepreneur. It doesn't matter your title. So you can add ebooks and guides, online courses, webinars and workshops, free or paid, membership sites, templates and tools, digital art and printables, audio content, SaaS or software and apps, online coaching and consulting, virtual summits and conferences, and subscription type of services. But if you want to get physical, you can do subscription boxes. All right. So I'm really excited. Tomorrow, I'm hosting a brand new therapist marketing masterclass. I'm really excited to host the class. I pay attention to where my consumers and my audience is stuck at. And so that's what me and my team chose to do. And then we're going to be making a huge announcement for anyone who is on that masterclass who wants help with marketing. So I'm going to give you the code again. If you're on Instagram, I gave you two codes. If you want to come to the masterclass for free tomorrow, then you want to comment in this live or go to the link in my bio, the word class. If you want the 60 digital product idea ebook to start generating some ideas, because I'm going to start coming out with more and more content, especially on YouTube and on the podcast, you want to comment the word book so that you can get the coupon code START that expires tomorrow, Friday evening. If you're watching on YouTube later, I'll make sure to actually link it up. But if you're watching live, just hit me up on Instagram or wait a minute and then go back to this video and it will be linked up. But I really appreciate y'all. Hop into my DMs or on the bottom of the feed, wherever you're watching this, and let me know your biggest takeaway. If you are watching this on YouTube, I would so appreciate if you can subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, but chit chat with me. I love to talk to y'all in the comments. I actually respond to your comments. If you're on Instagram, I do get in the DM. Sometimes Instagram be acting a little funny because we got like 4 different email boxes or inboxes over there. So sometimes I don't see it for a couple of days because it is hidden. But bottom line is I appreciate y'all. Make sure you stay tapped into the YouTube podcast, in which we always upload the video and the audio in this season of business in 2024. I will see y'all if you're coming tomorrow, or download that ebook and let me know what you need help with, because you never know what I'll create next for you. All right. Y'all have a great rest of your day and happy June. Bye.